It's Friday, January 22nd, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the latest local news, including a teen rescued from an alleged human trafficker in Milford, a longtime Stratford business closing, and much more. Rob Adams will, of course, bring us the latest sports news, and Donald Ang takes a look back on this day in history. But first up, we're going to throw it to Rob Adams now for a look at the forecast, which is obviously changing a lot, Rob, and a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen.
Absolutely, Kate. And to be honest with you, as we stand here at 11:01 on Friday morning, there's still some variables that we can't figure out with this storm. Here's what we know. From the National Weather Service, a winter storm watch is in effect from Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon. The locations will be throughout this entire region, and really, as you take a look, you get a look at the radar, there is a massive storm that's going to hit the mid-Atlantic region, and you see how large it stretches. I almost wish I could green screen it for you to give you the pointer, but you get the idea. Stretching from Virginia Beach, Virginia, all the way up toward Columbus and back around toward Nashville. It's going to hit Washington and Baltimore and Richmond, Virginia very hard, make its way up toward us, but we can't quite get a feel yet. National Weather Service says 2 to 8 inches for us with heavy snow, winds from 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 30, temperatures staying in the mid-20s. There are still some variables, though. All this has to be worked out. The actual forecast is this, as you take a look at more of the weather maps and radar of all of this entire system. I mean, it's messy and it's big, but how much of it will go out over the water, how much of it will actually hit us, will it only skirt us? Let's give you the details. Today, a sunny day, high near 29, wind chill values between 15 and 20, and the wind right around 8 out of the north. Now tonight, a chance of snow mainly after 4 in the morning. That's what they're saying, 4 in the morning, tomorrow morning, of course. Mostly cloudy, low around 19. Wind chill values between 10 and 15. The wind from the northeast at 5 to 11. But it's only a 30% chance of precipitation per the National Weather Service. Saturday, snow then mainly after 10 in the morning. Heavy at times, possibly. High near 29, wind chill values between 10 and 15 with a blustery day, a northeast wind from 15 to 20, gusts as high as 33. That's an 80% chance of precipitation, 1 to 3 inches possible. To Saturday night, it's going to snow again, mainly before 4 Sunday morning. Heavy at times, possibly. Low 21, wind chill values between 10 and 15, blustery north wind 14 to 20, gusts as high as 33, and again, 80% chance of precipitation. New snow, 1 to 3 inches possible. We'll detail it a little more than that when we have a chance a little bit later on in the show. Kate, back to you. It's going to be messy.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. And of course, we did visit our friends at Griffin Hospital yesterday. They gave us some safety tips. We're going to be playing one of those for you later, some winter safety tips coming up later in the show. But first, on to some of the stories we're following today. Milford police rescued a missing teen girl from a suspected human trafficker. Police charge a New Jersey man with promoting prostitution and other crimes when they found him at a local hotel with a missing 15-year-old girl. On January 20th, the Milford Police Department's narcotics unit located a motor vehicle parked in the lot of Howard Johnson's on the Boston Post Road that was connected to a recent out-of-state missing and endangered 15-year-old female. Detectives investigated and found the underage victim inside a room at the Howard Johnson's. The victim was in the room with 27-year-old Keontre Lawrence of Maplewood, New Jersey. While investigating, detectives reportedly observed bags of powder cocaine, crystal meth, cash, and evidence of prostitution in the room. Lawrence reportedly has an extensive out-of-state criminal record, according to a police report. He was taken into custody and was being held on a $250,000 bond. The juvenile victim was taken to the hospital for medical evaluation. The Milford Police Department currently has an officer assigned to the newly formed Connecticut Human Trafficking Task Force created by the Department of Homeland Security. Detectives from Milford Police Department will work jointly with the task force on any follow-up investigations resulting from the arrest. And in some other news, Carol Sung, the New Canaan resident who was arrested on January 7th and charged with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs while picking up her child at Sachs Middle School, had her arraignment in Norwalk Superior Court on Tuesday, and it was put off until Wednesday, February 3rd. She's scheduled to appear in court that day not only to face the DUI charge, but a reckless driving charge from an October 2014 car accident on Silvermine Road in which a man from Stamford almost lost his life. Sung is in the pretrial stage for that, and the record shows that the case has been on the court docket 11 times. The advertiser spoke with Sung as well as with her attorney, John Goulash, but both declined to make statements for attribution. Sung, a mother of 3, failed field sobriety tests before being arrested at Saks, then refused to undergo a breath test, according to police. And in Shelton, the first Chipotle restaurant opened late last year, shortly before reports of an E. coli outbreak first surfaced. Residents and those looking to grab some quick Mexican food for lunch will have to go elsewhere on Monday, February 8th, as Chipotle is scheduled to close all their locations from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. for a safety meeting. The company said it will share information about what it believes caused the E. coli outbreak late last year and what it's doing to prevent more, and as well as thank workers for implementing a new food safety procedure. Following the reports of the outbreak late in 2015, the chain restaurant has chosen to change some of its cooking techniques to lessen the chance of another outbreak. According to a Chicago Tribune article, Chipotle's onions will be dipped in boiling water to kill germs before they're chopped. Raw chicken will be marinated in resealable plastic bags rather than in bowls, and cilantro will be added to freshly cooked rice so the heat gets rid of the microbes in the garnish. A Stratford mom was arrested Wednesday when she showed up at her daughter's school with a handgun. The incident happened at Worcester Middle School. 37-year-old Elizabeth Vargas immediately turned over her pistol permit but was arrested anyhow. She was charged with possession of a weapon on school grounds and released on a promise to appear in court on January 27th. Vargas immediately turned over the gun, which was a .380 caliber pistol, and her valid permit. Police said that shortly before 9 a.m. they were contacted by Jim Singletary, the assistant principal at Worcester Middle School, who said a parent who was picking up her daughter was carrying a gun on her waistband. Officers immediately escorted Vargas outside the school, and once outside, she surrendered the gun and her permit. Police said the gun was unloaded at the time. Vargas also stated to police that she was on her way to pick up her brother to go to the shooting range when she received a phone call from Singletary that her daughter had gotten into a fight. And police have arrested a person who may have hit a Connecticut college student before fleeing in December. According to NBC Connecticut, an arrest warrant was issued for James Spacito, 25, of Quaker Hill, New London. Police said on the morning of December 18th, police received a 911 call about a body on the side of the road of Route 32 just after 2 in the morning. The driver had fled the scene. Officers found the student, identified as Anik Ashraf, unresponsive in the northbound side of the road. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Ashraf, who was from Pakistan, was a member of the class of 2017 at Connecticut College, according to Catherine Bergeron, the school president. And in Stratford, after more than 80 years in business, a landmark hardware store is closing its doors soon. The owners of Clow's Hardware and Gifts, a familiar sight to anyone who lives or visits Paradise Green, have decided to leave the business. The Clow family expects to shut the doors for good sometime this spring, though an official closing date hasn't been announced. The store has been open since 1933 and in business on Main Street since 1942. Co-owner Evelyn Clow, who runs the shop with her husband Ronald and their son Ronald Jr., said age and slowing business are partly why they've decided to shut their doors. Clow said that retail business isn't what it used to be. She said a lot of it has to do with the big box stores, and the internet has a lot to do with it as well. In prior years, Clow's Hardware was always busy. They sold hardware, but it also served as a general store, selling toys, houseware items, appliances, and even fishing gear. Once word of the closing spread, Evelyn said she's received visits and calls from customers who were regulars over the years. You can get more on that story at stratfordstar.com. And the Fairfield Senior Center has organized a program called Shoveling for Seniors that attempts to match people physically incapable of clearing their sidewalks with young people who can do it for free or for very little. If you run across a senior who needs assistance in Fairfield, have them call the Senior Center at 203-256-3644. 888-211-3166. And speaking of snow, going to throw it back over to Rob Adams for another quick look at the forecast. Rob?
I'm still processing the talking about Mexican food and all. I've got lunch ideas now. All right, Kate, thank you. Again, a sunny day today, high near 29 with wind chill values between 15 and 20 and the wind out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Chance of snow comes in tomorrow morning around 4, mainly after then. Mostly cloudy, low 19. As you get a look, take a look at that radar. This is a big storm. I'm not going to go with the hype, everyone. I don't do Snowmageddon and all that stuff. It's a big storm. That's reality, plain and simple. Watch it ride up the coast, but go far in west. You can see it heading up through the mid-Atlantic states, rolling up toward Washington, D.C., and it's going to come up toward us now. Where does it go from there? Does it shift out to sea? That's the question still for all of us. Will it really skirt us or will it hit us a lot harder here in Connecticut? That's still to be determined. Of course, for Eric Gendron, the Patriots are flying today to Denver. But that all out of the way. Chance of snow mainly after 4 in the morning, mostly cloudy, low 19, wind chill values between 10 and 15, because that's the important stuff Eric needs to know. Chance of precipitation, 30% for Saturday, mainly after 10 we'll see the snow. Could be heavy at times, high near 29. It's an 80% chance of snow. New accumulation, 1 to 3 inches, more of the same for Saturday night. So it's sitting with this right now in this situation as it's a winter storm watch that's in effect from Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon. It's only sitting in 2 to 6, 2 to 8 inches right now. So again, it's a situation that could change. So we keep that all in mind. More of it rolls Saturday night into Sunday, largely ending Sunday morning, mostly cloudy, high 34. 21 for the low under clear skies Sunday night, mostly sunny, and 38 for Monday. We actually get back to 44 next Tuesday under partly sunny skies. But looking around the region right now, temperatures sit Ridgefield at 24, Greenwich at 26, Shelton at 25, and again, under a winter storm watch. It's a watch. Remember, you go kind of advisory, watch, warning. Warning is when it gets serious. We're not there yet. But we'll check back in with more as we move throughout this broadcast. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Robin. We do want to mention if you get stuck in the snow this weekend and you see something worth sharing, please send us video or photos by visiting han.network and clicking on the Submit Video Photos link atop the page. And remember, when shooting video with your phone, that horizontal always looks best. But we're going to step out for a quick break now. When we come back, Donald Dang takes a look back on this day in history. We have a lot more news and local sports coming up after this.
Had a sports injury that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist quickly. Their highly trained orthopedic professionals expertly treat you without an appointment. Skiing, snowboard, or sports accident, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk. Call 203-845-2070 or coastalorthoexpress.com. Find them on Facebook at Coastal Ortho CT.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network.
It's January 22nd, and we're back on your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. It's time to throw it over to Donald Eng for a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, you think Super Bowl commercials are confusing now? How about a sledgehammer-wielding Hooters girl taking out Peppa Pig's grandfather? It actually happened. But first, we go to 1506, when the first contingent of Swiss Guard arrives at the Vatican. At 110 men, the Swiss Guard is the smallest standing army in the world. To be a member, you must be Swiss-born, single, Catholic, male, and a member of the Swiss Army between ages 19 and 30. Their ceremonial uniform, by the way, is the most complicated military uniform in the world, consisting of 154 separate pieces that are each hand-fit to the individual soldier. By the way, don't be fooled by the uniform. These guys are among the toughest and most highly trained warriors in the world. To 1521, Emperor Charles V opens the horribly named Diet of Worms. Held in the city of Worms, Germany, it is best remembered for the Edict of Worms, in which the Catholic Church explained in detail how Martin Luther had it all wrong and made it a crime for anyone in Germany to give Luther food or shelter, and also pardoned in advance anyone who killed him. 1879, the twin battles of Islandla and Rorke's Drift, a Zulu army estimated at 20,000, wipes out a British force, the most decisive defeat of a European force by natives in history. A few hours later, 139 British regulars successfully defended the outpost of Rorke's Drift from an attack by about 3,000 Zulu warriors. And finally, we go to 1984, but it actually wasn't 1984, or 1984 wasn't going to be what we thought 84. Anyway, there was this.
In all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of their contradictory thoughts. Unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1980.
That is the Apple Macintosh, the first computer to popularize the mouse and graphical user interface, introduced, sort of, during Super Bowl XVI with the famous 1984 television commercial. Directed by Ridley Scott and starring voice actor David Graham as Big Brother, the commercial aired during the third quarter of the Los Angeles Raiders' 38-9 win over the Washington Redskins, and it never aired again. With your look back in history, I am Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in Weston, they're looking for the owner of a lost dog. A lab terrier mix was found on Cedar Lane near Lions Plain Road in Weston and is now in the custody of Weston Animal Control. The dog is male and neutered and was wearing a skull and crossbones collar with no tags on it when he was found. To claim the dog, call Weston Animal Control at 203-222-2642. You can also get more information at thewestonforum.com. But we are going to throw it over to Rob Adams now for the latest in local sports. Rob?
All right, Kate, we start with a little bit of breaking news that just came out within the last hour. According to a tweet from Dave Rudin of the Rudin Report, Ridgefield Athletic Director Carl Charles announced his retirement at the end of June today in a letter to other league athletic directors. Charles was a basketball coach at the school as well as the AD. He was a basketball coach before really diving into the AD role full time. But again, Ridgefield Athletic Director Carl Charles will retire at the end of June. You see him there chatting with Tim Murphy of the Ridgefield Press and myself. Tim Murph will be on Nutmeg Sports with us Monday. We will talk more about this, as well as another story Murph has going on about some bad stuff going on in youth hockey. So we'll get to that on Monday's Nutmeg Sports. But again, Carl Charles, the AD, who's been so great to us here at the HAN Network, he is retiring at the end of the school year. Now to boys basketball. Stephen Klaus writes in the very same Ridgefield Press that after knocking off previously unbeaten Brian McMahon 79-56 on Tuesday, Ridgefield completed this week's homestand by taking down another highly regarded opponent, Fairfield Ward, 67-61 on Thursday night. The victory was the fifth in 6 games for the Tigers, who are now 5-4 overall and 4-1 in the FCIAC, while Ward drops to 6-4, 4-2. Chase Levesque and Matt Saporito led the Tigers with 15 points apiece. From the scoreboard, 2 other games of note. Staples over St. Joseph 57-53. Darien knocked off Norwalk 65-41. Really baffled by the Bears, but these result of the movement of some games thanks to the upcoming weather, folks being very cautious. To girls basketball, overtime, St. Joseph knocks off Staples 41-38. They won for the 3rd straight time, defeating Staples. As I said, in OT, the Cadets improved to 7-4 overall, 5-3 in the FCIAC. Staples is now 6-6, 4-5. The Wreckers were led by Talia Hendel with 11 points, and they won the final frame 12-9 to force overtime at 36. Shannon Grabowski scored 12 for the Cadets. Norwalk over Darien 39-37 as Aaron Karczewski had 16 points for the Blue Wave to lead all scorers. Jackie Harris led the Bears with 11, and Ridgefield, as you see, by 12, 56-44. Now to today and tonight's schedule. A few adjustments due to the weather. Wilton at Ludlow at 3:30. That's a 3:30 game in boys basketball. West Hill is at New Canaan at 7. Central at McMahon at 7 o'clock. Danbury at Trumbull at 7. And Trinity Catholic and Stanford, a game you'll see right here on the HAN Network. Jake Zimmer, Chris Canlin, and I have the call tonight from Stanford High School's Paul Kutzo Gymnasium. Girls hoops, Ludlow and Wilton will play at 2. West Hill and New Canaan at West Hill at 5:30. Central home for McMahon at 5:30. Stanford at Trinity Catholic, that's a 5:45 start. Trumbull and Danbury at 7. Ridgefield and Wilton will play at the Winter Garden at 3. That game has been moved. This isn't boys ice hockey. That is a move from Saturday to today. Ridgefield, Wilton, Winter Garden, 3 o'clock. Brookfield Bethel Danbury takes on Amity at the Bennett Rink at 5. Girls ice hockey, New Canaan takes on East Catholic at the Newington Ice Rink. That's 8:30 tonight. Wrestling, West Hill, Bristol Central, Manchester, all at Ward at 4 o'clock. Boys and girls indoor track and field. Ridgefield is at the New Balance Games at the New York Armory. And boys swimming and diving, McMahon and Norwalk at Darien at 3, as well as New Canaan at Ridgefield at 3:30. Greenwich and Welton, Trumbull at Staples, West Hill, Stanford at Danbury. From Sean Saylor, Fairfield Public Schools will be closed Saturday and Sunday due to the impending storm. And of course, it's the weekend. We know no classes. But the point is all activities have been canceled for the Fairfield Public Schools. There will be more things getting moved around. I can tell you, and beg your pardon for an extra second here, Kate, Housatonic Northwestern Wamogo at Norwalk McMahon at the Sono Ice House has been moved from tomorrow to February 15th. Fairfield Trinity Catholic at Terry Connors Rink has been postponed with no makeup date, and I think that's everything for now, Kate, but obviously things will change as we go along. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, we've been talking a lot about weather, and yesterday we stopped by Griffin Hospital to get some winter safety tips. We're going to show you right now some of the safe driving tips from the folks at Griffin. Obviously, good information to have, especially for inexperienced drivers, and a nice reminder for all of us, so check this out. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the HAN Network. We're here at Griffin Hospital today getting some winter safety tips. I'm joined right now by Joseph Burnett. Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Kate.
Well, thanks for having us, I should say. But
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you do here at Griffin Hospital.
Among my many tasks, I do employee safety and health and emergency management, which is disaster preparedness. So a lot of these things fall right into that area.
Right, and now we should say, obviously, winter storm hospitals don't close.
That's right.
So people driving in bad weather is something you guys have to think about. What are some winter safety driving tips?
Well, the key to all safety issues is being prepared. looking at things from a getting pre-planning perspective, eliminating what you can, and mitigating the other things. So from a driving perspective, first start with your vehicle. Is it in good condition? Have you had it maintained? Is your car going to break down? Look at your tires. Are your tires in good condition? Winter tires would be better, but if not, an all-season tire. Is the pressure good? Make sure you have fresh wipers, all your fluids are up to date. It's very important that you clear the snow off the vehicle before you use it. If you have some, make sure your brake lights are visible, your headlights are visible. It's important to see, but to be seen as well. So you want to get started there.
And once you're out there, you might hit a slippery spot. What do you do when that happens?
So I think the first thing is you want to avoid that. And the best way to do that is to drive slow. I mean, we have to think about slowing down, leaving more time to get where we need to be. If your car does begin to slip and slide, you're traveling too fast for the conditions. Now, if your car does begin to spin or fishtail, what you want to do is you want to steer your wheel into the direction of the spin until it compensates. If it begins to go the other way, then you've overcompensated and you have to go back. If you have anti-lock brakes, you just want to gently push on the pedal. But if you don't have anti-lock brakes, you want to gently tap the pedal and try to bring the car under control. Your stopping distance is going to be significantly greater, so you want to go slow and give yourself a lot of distance with the vehicles around you.
Right, and I know a lot of times your reaction is to slam on the brakes, but that is not the thing to do.
No, that's the worst thing that you can do. So again, getting yourself mentally prepared for the trip is the best thing to do there. And keep a good amount of supplies in your car. Breakdown on a good day is bad, but breaking down on a snowy day can be very dangerous. So you want to make sure that you have everything you need in your car, and if you get stuck in your car, you want to have supplies as well. First aid kit, small shovel, some road flares, water, things along those lines. Some people keep a bag of sand or cat litter just for extra traction and things like that.
Right, and I imagine your cell phone fully charged is also a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. But if you are stuck, make sure your tailpipe is clear because you don't want to build up a carbon monoxide in the car or anything along those lines.
Well, Joseph, thank you so much for talking to us about this.
Thank you very much.
All right, well that does it for this winter safety tip from Griffin Hospital. And we have a lot more winter safety tips from Griffin Hospital. You'll be able to check those out later at han.network. We're going to step out for a break now. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today, including taking another look at the forecast, coming up after this.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this Friday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Milford police rescued a missing teen girl from a suspected human trafficker. Police charge a New Jersey man with promoting prostitution and other crimes when they found him at a local hotel with a missing 15-year-old girl. On January 20th, the Milford Police Department's narcotics unit located a motor vehicle parked in the lot of Howard Johnson's on the Boston Post Road that was connected to a recent out-of-state missing and endangered 15-year-old female. Detectives investigated and found the underage victim inside a room at Howard Johnson's. The victim was in the room with Keontre Lawrence, who's 27 years old and from Maplewood, New Jersey. While investigating, detectives reportedly observed bags of powder cocaine, crystal meth, cash, and evidence of prostitution in the room. Lawrence reportedly has an extensive out-of-state criminal history, according to police. He was taken into custody and held on a $250,000 bond. The juvenile victim was taken to the hospital for a medical evaluation. The Milford Police Department currently has an officer assigned to the newly formed Connecticut Human Trafficking Task Force created by the Department of Homeland Security. Detectives from the Milford Police Department will work jointly with the task force on any follow-up investigations resulting from this arrest. And in New Canaan, Carol Sung, the resident who was arrested January 7th and charged with driving under the influence while picking up her child at Sachs Middle School, had her arraignment in Norwalk Court put off until Wednesday, February 3rd. She is scheduled to appear in court that day, not only to face the DUI charge, but a reckless driving charge from an October 2014 car accident on Silver Mine Road, in which a man from Stamford almost lost his life. Sung is in the pretrial stage for that, and the record shows that the case has been on the court docket 11 times. The Advertiser spoke with Sung as well as her attorney, John Goulash, but neither wanted to comment. Sung is a mother of 3, and she failed field sobriety tests before being arrested at Sachs Middle School, then refused to undergo a breath test, according to police. And you can follow more of that story at ncadvertiser.com. But we're going to throw it back to Rob Adams for one final look at the forecast. Rob?
All right, Kate, a winter storm watch is in effect. It will start Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon, and it's for the entire region with heavy snow on the way. The question is, how much? And that's been the concern of this storm, is we really can't quite get a full handle on it. But as you get a look at the radar, there's this big storm system that you're seeing now that's moving up the coast and going well west towards, say, Nashville and out that way. But really, the fringe of it right now, the northern fringe, you can kind of see it's just touching Washington, D.C., kind of right on the Washington, the Capital Beltway right now. I know that's probably more info than you need, but you get the idea. It's in the nation's, mid-Atlantic region heading toward Baltimore and so on. So this is going to continue. In fact, it's kind of over D.C. heading toward Baltimore as we speak, and it'll make its way up toward us. Now, they're calling for 2 to 8 inches around this region, but will that change? That's the thing we have to figure out. Temperatures will be in the mid-20s. Visibility could be 1/2 mile or less at times, and it will stay Saturday morning through Sunday afternoon, at least right now. That's at least the impact of the watch. Let's give you the details once again. We've got a sunny day today for the most part. A hint of a cloud outside right now, but a high near 29. Wind chill between 15 and 20. North wind around 8. To tonight, chance of snow, but it will begin, according to the National Weather Service, mainly after 4 in the morning. Mostly cloudy, low 19, with wind chill values between 10 and 15, and only a 30% chance of precipitation. Saturday, snow mainly after 10 a.m., heavy at times, possibly high 29. Wind chill values again between 10 and 15. Blustery wind out of the northeast, that is from 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusts as high as 33. Saturday night, more of the same, heavy at times, low 21. Wind chill between 10 and 15. North wind 14 to 20, gusts as high as 33. The National Weather Service says the storm will likely end around 7 Sunday morning, then a mostly cloudy day, becoming becoming sunny with a high near 34, and the wind will begin to die down. Sunday night, mostly clear, low 21, mostly sunny for Monday, high 38. Tuesday, partly sunny, a high near 44, so a lot of it will begin to melt. With all that said and done around the region right now, take a deep breath. Ridgefield at 25, Greenwich, you're staying steady at 26, and Shelton right here, 25 degrees. Get your hat, glove, mittens, the scarf, the shovel. What do you need to get, Kate? Let's get it and let's get it going.
All right, Robin, again, we want to mention if you get stuck in the snow, please consider sharing your videos or photos by visiting han.network and clicking on the Submit Video Photos link atop the page. And of course, we'll be following the storm at han.network, and all our community websites will let you know what's going on in your town, so be sure to check those. Everyone be safe this weekend, and Coffee Break will be back Monday at 11.